Marcie Michelle Free, born Mark Edward Free, April 12, 1954 to October 23, 2025, was far more than a rock singer. She was a voice of courage, transformation, and truth. Best remembered as the captivating lead singer of King Cobra, Signal, and Unruly Child, Marcy's life was a melody of triumphs, heartbreaks, and self-discovery. Her music spoke to the restless and the misunderstood, and her journey echoed the beauty of being true to oneself, no matter the cost. Marcy had an estimated net worth of $1.1 million at the time of her death. The Spark of a Dream, 1973 to 1989. Marcy's story began with the fire of a dream. At 19, in the heart of Flint, Michigan, she found her calling in music. Her voice, powerful, soulful, and electric, was her gift and her escape. By 1975, she had ventured to Las Vegas, seeking not just an audience, but a destiny. The rhythm of her ambition soon carried her to Los Angeles in 1979, where her musical life began to take shape. Fate intervened in 1983 when Marcy met drummer Carmine Appice, who had just parted ways with Ozzy Osbourne's band. Carmine recognized something extraordinary in Marcy. Her voice was thunder and silk intertwined. He invited her to front his new band, King Cobra. Though the project was meant to be his solo venture, Marcy's charisma and vocal power transformed it into a full-fledged rock band. By 1984, King Cobra had secured a deal with Capitol Records, and Marcy was living the dream. Together, they released Ready to Strike and Thrill of a Lifetime, albums that carved their names into the hard rock landscape. Her voice soared through anthems that pulsed with raw emotion, setting her apart in a male-dominated world. But by late 1986, her restless spirit led her to step away from the group. Marcy wanted more, not just fame, but musical expression that spoke from her soul. In 1987, she joined producer Peter McKeon's project The Fugitive Kind, alongside Eric Scott, Mark Baker, and Jan Uvina. Under EMI Records, the group became Signal. Though Marcy's suggested name, Unruly Child, was rejected then, it would one day return to define her greatest work. Signal released One Shining Gem, the album loud and clear, in 1989. Marcy's voice blazed with passion, but behind the scenes, corporate neglect dimmed its light. EMI dropped the band soon after the release, and the lack of promotion crushed the project. By 1990, Signal was gone, and Marcy found herself standing at another crossroads, uncertain but unbroken. Unruly Child and the Rise of a Voice, 1990 to 1995. Out of endings came a new beginning. In 1990, Marcy reunited with musicians Bruce Gowdy and Guy Allison to form Unruly Child. Their chemistry was undeniable, a fusion of artistry and rebellion. The group signed with Atlantic/Interscope and in 1992 released their self-titled debut album. The record was a revelation, emotionally charged, exquisitely crafted, and carried by Marcy's soaring vocals. That same year, Marcy lent her voice to the action film Best of the Best 2, performing the fiery anthem, "To Be the Best of the Best." Her music radiated both strength and sensitivity, reflecting the courage of someone who had always fought to belong. In 1993, Long Way from Love, a solo album composed of demos she had recorded with songwriters Judy and Robin Randall, was released in the UK. The album, reissued later by Frontiers Records, revealed the intimate side of Marcy's artistry. It captured a woman's heart caught between hope and heartbreak, sung with a voice that trembled with life itself. That October, Marcy performed at the Gods of Aor Festival in Manchester, a night that would later be remembered as a defining moment, her voice radiant, her spirit luminous. After losing their record deal, Unruly Child re-emerged under a new name, 12-Pound Sledge, hoping for another chance at stardom. Though a new record never materialized, the sessions gave birth to Tormented, a 1995 release that became Marcy's declaration of resilience. The songs were raw, emotional, and cathartic, revealing an artist in the midst of transformation, fighting her inner storms through melody. The Courage to Be Herself, 1993 to 2009. While her music enchanted the world, Marcy's truest story unfolded within. For years, she carried a quiet pain, the feeling that her outward life didn't match her inner truth. In November 1993, she bravely stepped forward, coming out as a transgender woman. She took the name Marcie Michelle Free, finally becoming who she had always been inside. Her revelation was not without struggle. It was a decision between life and death, she once said. If I had continued living as Mark, I would have died for sure. Marcy's transition was an act of survival, a rebirth of spirit. Yet the music world, once her home, turned its back. Friends vanished, industry allies withdrew, and the phone calls stopped coming. Her career faltered, but her courage soared. During this painful chapter, she worked as a courier in Los Angeles, living quietly and honestly. Though her voice fell silent in the public eye, her heart never stopped singing. By 1995, she retreated from the spotlight and returned to Michigan to be near her family. I just lived life like anyone else, she reflected later, humbly, peacefully, finding grace in ordinary days. But Marcy's inner battle was not yet over. She struggled with alcoholism, a dark shadow that clouded her light. Yet even this she overcame. Around 2008, she found strength in her faith and a close personal relationship with God. Through that divine connection, she found sobriety and peace. The Unruly Spirit returns, 2009 to 2025. In September 2009, destiny brought Marcy back to where her soul belonged, the stage. Reuniting with Bruce Gowdy and Guy Allison, Unruly Child was reborn. Signing with Frontiers Records, they released Worlds Collide in 2010, a triumphant comeback that celebrated not only their music, but Marcy's indomitable spirit. Fans around the world rejoiced to hear her voice again, still powerful, still tender, still uniquely hers. She sang not only as an artist, but as a survivor. Every lyric carried the wisdom of someone who had walked through fire and emerged radiant. In 2014, Unruly Child independently released Down the Rabbit Hole under their own label, Unruly Records. The title couldn't have been more fitting. It represented Marcy's journey through chaos, loss, love, and rediscovery. Her voice was now more than just sound. It was a testament to truth, freedom, and the beauty of being oneself without apology. Personal life and legacy of love. Marcy married Laurie Richardson on June 24, 1989. Though their paths later diverged, their story remained part of the tapestry of Marcy's life. In the years following her transition, she often spoke of the isolation she endured, how those she once trusted shunned her after she embraced her true self. Yet, she never allowed bitterness to consume her. Instead, she became a quiet symbol of authenticity, showing that peace begins where pretense ends. Her courage lit a path for countless others struggling with identity and acceptance. She was proof that the truest form of artistry is not found in fame or fortune, but in daring to live your truth openly, even when the world refuses to understand. Marcy passed away on October 23, 2025, leaving behind not just albums and songs, but a legacy of resilience and love. Her story, the voice that refused to fade, continues to echo in every note she sang. Artistry and influence. Marcy's music was shaped by legends, yet her sound remained uniquely her own. She adored Aretha Franklin, whose soul-drenched power inspired her to sing with feeling rather than perfection. She paid tribute to Aretha in her album liner notes, a humble nod to a woman whose courage mirrored her own. Her influences stretched across generations: the Four Seasons, the Beatles, the Beach Boys, Grand Funk Railroad, Three Dog Night, Smokey Robinson, Led Zeppelin, and even the timeless grandeur of big band artists. From each, she absorbed lessons, harmony, rhythm, emotion, and storytelling, and wove them into her signature style. Marcy's voice could roar like thunder or whisper like a prayer. It carried vulnerability and fire in equal measure, a sound born from pain but wrapped in beauty. A final note. Marcie Michelle Free's life was a song of freedom, sometimes haunting, sometimes joyful, always real. She walked through the storm of rejection and misunderstanding, but never surrendered her light. Through every chord she sang, she reminded the world that truth is music, and that living authentically is the highest form of art. Her voice may have fallen silent on October 23, 2025, but its echo will forever live in the hearts of those who dared to listen. She was and will always be unruly, unbroken, and unforgettable.